Welcome to the Mormon Medium Podcast, where we'll talk about spirituality, the paranormal, religion, and my journey in becoming a Mormon medium. I'm Nanette Ride. Thanks for listening. Now let's go have some fun.
Don't be afraid. Close your eyes. There's a moon overhead, but the sun will rise. Blood on our lips, such a poisonous bite. The sound of our hearts go bump, bump, bump in the night.
Hello, welcome to...
The Mormon Medium Podcast.
Thank you for filling in. I had a little bit of a brain fart there. Like, wait a minute, what am I doing? Where am I at? How old am I, Nan? Oh my gosh.
You're 50, babe.
Wow.
Big 5-0. It's official.
Feeling old and senile today.
You look good, though.
Thank you. I got my beard trimmed up by Scott, our favorite barber.
You are looking mighty fine.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So today we're going to talk about our stay at the Apache Hotel, right?
Yes. So in the same week, we stayed at the Driscoll Hotel in Austin, Texas. And we also stayed in the Apache Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada.
If you want to hear about the Driscoll Hotel, very haunted place. In fact, it's considered one of the most haunted places in all of Texas. That was our last episode.
Yeah, so go check that out if you haven't heard that. But be prepared to get the creepies, I guess.
Get the creepies?
Yeah. This one's going to give you some creepies too.
Yeah, we had a really cool experience at the Hotel Apache. And for those of you who don't know, most people have never even seen it or heard of it, but it is touted as the most haunted hotel in all of Las Vegas.
Okay, but that's like subjective, right?
You know what? I think so. And I think a big part of it, to be completely honest, is they've decided they're going to hit that marketing niche. It's brilliant.
I think it's smart. It's really smart. It's definitely one of the older hotels. So
a lot of firsts.
A lot of firsts happened there as well as at the Driscoll, right?
Yep.
But the Hotel Apache was originally opened by a family in 1932 that came to work as a cement contractor on the Hoover Dam.
Yep.
They realized that the employees that were working on the dam needed a place to stay. They needed a damn place to stay.
After they went on the dam tour.
On the dam tour, they needed a damn
working
place
at the
to stay.
damn job.
And if you haven't been to Las Vegas can get really, really, really blistering hot. So to be working on the damn dam, it can get damn hot. And so the Apache Hotel actually was one of the very first air conditioned.
Yeah, had air conditioning in the lobby.
Yeah.
Do you know what else they were a first for?
What?
Carpeting in their gaming floor.
That's pretty cool. And they also made, wasn't it poker? They made poker famous there.
Well, yes, they essentially did. But let's talk about the gaming floor.
Okay.
So do you know why they didn't have carpet in there usually?
No.
Because people would bring their horses in.
No way.
Yep.
That's disgusting.
Absolutely is. So they put carpet down and kept the horses outside.
Wow. I did not realize that.
Yeah. And they were the first place after Benny Binion purchased the place.
From the family, right?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
He put on the first World Series of poker.
And that's why it got famous, right?
Correct.
I know a lot of movie stars also stayed at the Apache Hotel, like Clark Gable, Humphrey Bogart, Lucille Ball.
Right? Lucy and Desi?
What? How cool is that?
Yeah, super cool.
So lots of firsts there. They also had the first electrically operated elevator.
Oh, that's a big deal.
That is a big deal, especially with all the skyscrapers and things like that in Vegas. Kind of a cool first, you can say. Right?
That is a very cool first.
So when you first go into the Apache Hotel,
it's inside the Binion's gambling hall. So it doesn't look like a big hotel outside or anything. It looks like a little casino.
Exactly.
On
so
Fremont Street.
You go into the casino of Binion's, and then Apache is inside there. So you can find the bell desk in there. So it's a typical casino when you go in, you know, with all of the machines and the play tables and all that stuff. But when you're going up a couple of floors to the hotel, it's old.
It is old.
Really basic.
Yeah. Well, look, they've remodeled it and refurnished it, and they've done a great job. It's clean. It's well maintained. The furnishings are very Spartan. I mean, there's not much to them. You get a bed, a little table, a couple of chairs, and a small little bathroom.
It's very clean, though.
It is. It's a nice place to stay, and there's no resort fee.
Exactly. So you can usually stay there for a really small, minimal price. And one of our favorite things to do, because it's right on Fremont Street, is to go out onto Fremont Street and do the people watching. You know, they have great music. They always have really good bands, and they have really good food.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So when we were there, we went to the little bar. It's called the Whiskey Liquor Up, and you go upstairs.
He didn't make that name up.
I didn't make
It's
that
not 14.
name.
Okay.
Didn't make
It's
that
really the name.
But it overlooks the stage on Fremont and, Fremont Street. And so we'll sit up there and you can look out these windows. It's, quiet enough. You can talk and have a conversation, good food, and we just people watch. And there was this lady who literally spun in circles. She's standing on the ground on Fremont Street, spinning in circles. She did it for 30 minutes straight.
And didn't stop and didn't puke.
Yeah, I have no idea how she didn't throw up.
I don't either.
It was the weirdest thing. And she just sat and spun. And then after she was done for a minute, then she started again. Just spun.
Yeah, I don't know what she was on. It was really scary.
She was definitely on something.
But the people watching is so cool. But when you're on Fremont Street, if you've never been, they have the overhead lights, the complete show, and the zip lines that are going by, and it can get really, really, really loud.
Nan gets a little bit of sensory overload.
I get overload. So I like to go up where it's quiet, and get a nice little drink, a nice cool beverage, and some really yummy food, because usually pub food is so good. And at this salon, I
went there, I got my hair done,
done.
they gave me a great glass of wine. My mom used to go to a hairdresser who would give her a glass of wine.
Stop it. Why did she stop?
His name was Phil. I think he died.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, but she loved him.
People need to do that. That would be wonderful.
Yeah, it was
then you
like...
wouldn't care if they fucked up.
Right? I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, he was in like the Hilton Hotel in Salt Lake City, and that's where his salon was.
That's
and
amazing.
She'd go up there and drink a glass of wine and get her hair done. And
Your mom has some pretty hair too. So
yeah,
that's really cool. Well, back to the Apache. While we were there, Brad decided to get us a really cool suite because, as you know, it's our anniversary. It's his big birthday, all the things. And so we go up to where the suite is.
Now, when she talks really cool suite, this is an old hotel. So it is still a very small room, but it's about twice as big as their
the
normal
regular
room.
And this isn't our first time being there, by the way. We've got a couple of stories that we will tell you. This is actually our third time being there. And each time we have had things that have happened, and we'll tell you about that. But we want to tell you about this in particular. We go into this room, and it's pretty nice. It's like double the size as the room that we've gotten before.
Yeah, it's got
and it had like a bar in it and a couch, and typically it doesn't have a couch.
Right, and it doesn't typically have the freestanding bar. There wasn't any alcohol on the bar. It was an empty bar.
It was kind of weird.
Yeah. It would have been... They missed an opportunity because they could have literally stocked the bar and then just charged for any bottles that you moved or touched.
It's true. Anyways, it's a little bit late, and we bring all of our luggage and everything in because, we had just spent a week in Texas. So we have lots of bags and everything. And
I'm pretty sure that the elevator is still the same elevator because it is the slowest elevator ever.
It's rickety. You almost wonder if you're going to get stuck or not.
Right.
I don't know. And it's very small.
It creaks and groans. It's like you are too fat for this elevator. Get off.
Anyways, we pull all of our bags into this room, and I'm, setting my stuff down, and Brad says, philo-erection. And I'm like, I have full body chills right now. And he's like, I do too. And the room's cold.
Like freezing cold.
Frigid cold in there.
So we just walked in from outside, and it's,
it's cold out there too.
Yeah, it's December, so it's like, 45 degrees or something when we got there.
Yeah.
But the room felt colder than it did outside.
Well, and there's a difference between being cold and having philo-erection. Can you just explain the difference there? We talked about philo-erection, right?
Well, philo-erection is just goosebumps. That's when your hairs stand up on end, right? So you go in, you get goosebumps. I didn't get goosebumps because it was cold, but it was cold. I got goosebumps because I felt something there.
And we definitely both had philo-erection. We both, our eyes were kind of big, like, okay, cool. This is going to be good.
Yeah,
This is
we're
going to
like,
be good.
All right.
Yeah.
So we did our typical thing. We're like, hey, look, any spirits or ghosts or entities or energies, we're not here to mess with you. We don't want to bother you. We don't want to cause you problems or pain or heartache or any distress.
Exactly. Remember, it's all about intention, and we never go into places like this to mess with ghosts or cause problems or pain. We're there to help or to just experience what we're going to experience and learn. So that was our intention. And then we went to go get food.
Yeah, we're like, hey,
We'll be back.
we're just going to stay the night, and we're going to be gone tomorrow because we're going to go to a different hotel the next night. And we had a really cool experience. We'll talk about that too. So we're like, yeah, we'll be back later. We're going to go down and get some dinner, which we did.
And we went to the Whiskey Liquor Up saloon.
And which is where we saw the dancing girl who spun in
Around
circles.
in circles. Yeah. And we got to watch the band because we were right above the band. So we could watch the band play. We could watch all the people, ate some really good food.
Watched the rodeo because it was
Yeah,
NFR.
'cause NFR. So we watched all of the TVs everywhere.
What does NFR stand for?
National Finals Rodeo.
Oh, okay. Because I was using the F for a completely different word.
Oh, I'll bet you were. He's not a cowboy, except for when he has to be a cowboy. And he had to go pick up twin calves that were soaking wet in the middle of a snowstorm.
Hey, I was a legit cowboy for at least one night.
Legit shit. Yep, you were. I think that was our last winter there.
Yeah, I was like, this is bullshit.
So now we call
Why?
snow bullshit.
Why are the cows born in January? I thought they were supposed to come out in the springtime. That was wrong.
Not okay.
So anyway, we went and we had dinner. We enjoyed ourselves. We had a really lovely evening.
A lovely evening.
It was lovely.
I love the word lovely.
I know you do. So does Kurt.
So does Kurt.
Our Jersey Kurt.
He's our Jersey officer, Kurt.
Yeah, great guy.
He hates the word lovely, so we always say it. It's really funny. You just have to be there. But Jess has been there and she knows.
Yeah, she does. So we went back to the room.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
And guess what?
And we knocked 3 times to let the ghost know we're coming in.
Knock 3 times
No.
on the ceiling if you want me.
We didn't actually knock, but we walked into
Twice
the room.
on the pipes. Sorry.
Who's on one today?
I'm going to be on one. Not on it yet. I didn't mean it like that. Stop. I'm getting the look.
So we go
You are
into
really
the
handsome.
stop. So we go into the room the second time. Now we walk in and the furnace is blowing hot air and the room is sweltering. It's like 85 degrees and we both instantly start sweating.
No, Brad sweats. I glisten.
Yeah. Nan,
Brad cannot stand to be hot.
yeah, I live in St. George.
And he has a pool. He jumps in the pool all the time.
I do. But it was so hot in the room and we sat there for a minute and played around with the thermostat and I was like, okay, we'll see if it changes. Nothing. It just got hotter and hotter and hotter.
So finally, like it was probably 30 minutes later, and we're hitting close to midnight at this point. Brad finally calls the front desk, and a lady answers, but no one's at the front desk. It's somebody else.
Yeah,
right?
it's the hotel across the street is where they have someone there because they were short staffed at the Apache, so they didn't have anyone overnight. But they're like, oh, we'll send a maintenance guy. Maintenance guy comes in, and you can tell he's worked there for a long time. We should have probably talked to him and asked him, to share some of his stories, but we didn't because we were hot and miserable.
Brad was hot and miserable.
But the guy comes in and he's like, well, this is the old part of the building, and all of the heat is a radiant heat that is kept by the boiler or whatever. And
It's run by water.
yeah, it all comes through the same vents. And so you get the same heat as everyone
Every
else in
other
these
room.
rooms. And I'm like, well, when we first came in, it was freezing in here.
He told us there's no way.
He goes, there's no way. He goes, they're all set at the same. He goes, right now it's 45 degrees outside. It's going to be blowing hot air.
And we could not even swallow that one because we both were cold before and we had philo erections. So then it dawned on us why we had philo erection, because we're
Yeah.
really intelligent, right?
Well, and the crazy thing was, he goes, well, we can turn the air off and it might cool down in here. So
But then there won't be any airflow.
yeah, so the option was you have no airflow or you have hot air.
Okay, and this is Brad. He is worse. Okay, he has a pregnant nose and a menopausal body. So, like, if he doesn't have airflow, like, he has to sleep with the window open in the wintertime to keep our room in our bedroom. It has to stay nice and cool.
Well,
with
that's
an
because
airflow.
you have like 14 blankets on the bed.
I wouldn't have 14 blankets if it weren't freaking ass cold.
Chicken or the egg? Come on, lady.
I think there was a meme about that the other day. Remember?
Yes, I do.
It wasn't very nice. I won't
Okay.
repeat it. Did you see how it shut him right up, though?
So anyway, we ended up calling the front desk and being like, hey, we can't stay in this room.
There is no way.
There was literally no way.
It was even a little uncomfortable for me. I would have not slept well.
No. So we called down to the front desk. We're like, hey, this room's too hot.
It's like 12:15 at this point. Okay.
The guy who answers the phone's like,
12:30-ish.
I'm just getting ready to leave, but I will get you set up in this other room if you come across the street and pick up the
He
key.
has to go across Fremont Street. Okay.
So I go down, walk across, walk through all the casinos, find the front desk at the other place, get the key, come back, go and check out the room. And it's just the basic room, which is fine, whatever. But it was nice and cool because it had its own little unit in the room instead of being connected to all of the units in the older area.
Right. Which it also was $100 cheaper
Yes, it was.
to stay in as well.
So we ended up getting in there and went right to sleep.
And we slept like babies.
Yeah.
Like, we slept really good.
No ghosts.
No ghosts.
Nothing.
Not in that room.
No.
Nope.
But
nope.
as you walk through the hallways there, it's really cool because their marketing, like I said, is pretty good. They have taken experiences and quotes from people who have stayed in different rooms. And so they'll have quotes outside the doors of the rooms telling people's experience.
What's happened in that room.
Yeah. So I know you took some pictures of some of those quotes, right?
I did, as well as a video of the girl spinning. So we're going to put that on our social media site with the band, everything that we saw, including Brad falling asleep in the room that's too hot, by the way. And I'm just sitting there waiting like, what the hell am I supposed to do? Because he doesn't want to be here, but he just fell asleep.
I was tired. It was a long day.
It was a long day, but I didn't know what to do. And we were supposed to be ghost hunting and it didn't work out so great. So something that kind of goes with this, like Vegas likes to hide dead bodies.
Yeah, one of the things we learned is that in Las Vegas, if there is a death in one of the rooms, they have to quarantine that room off for a couple of weeks. So if you're in the business of making money and you can't rent out a room, you're not earning revenue. So they will sometimes move bodies.
Which is so strange. But you know how like the Driscoll has its stories, of, the two brides in 525, or, like the little girl that went down the staircase and they know her name and all the things. You cannot find a single story in Las Vegas, and people die there all the time.
Yep.
And it's because they don't let you tell the stories because it will cost them dinero.
Yeah. So the PR companies that work for all the hotels and casinos make sure that the journalists don't talk about it. So go and try and find stories and articles on murders and deaths in hotels in Las Vegas. It's almost impossible to find information.
Which is so strange. So you really don't even know the story of these ghosts that you're running into. You don't know why they're there. And you don't know if you can help or not. And you don't know if it's really, really bad or whatever. You have zero idea what you're even dealing with.
Yeah.
It's just haunted. And it is haunted, by the way.
Well, It definitely is. You can feel it when you go in. And I'm pretty sure that's why our room was so damn cold. I'm going to just say that was because of ghosts.
Well, you even had the maintenance guy say, no, all the
Yeah.
rooms are this temperature.
Yep.
There's no way it would have been cold.
Well, but beyond that, when we've stayed there before, you have actually seen ghosts with your eyes, like done the whole medium thing, right?
I have. Okay, so here we go back to our very first time staying at the Apache, knowing that it's haunted, okay? And remember, like, we're going in with the intention to either learn or help. The end, that's all, okay? So we get into our cute little room. It's really clean, and Brad does the Brad and has to go in and go to the bathroom. And again, just like
Why
in
do you even
Pennsylvania,
have to share
because you
that?
did that in Pennsylvania.
Why do you have to
You do
even
it in
share
every
that?
place we go. It's like as soon as we land in the room, he has to go. So he leaves me alone with
You're
the
just
ghost.
jealous.
Again, no, I'm jealous of you falling asleep in 10 seconds, but not of that one. But anyways, he goes in and goes to the bathroom, and I can feel somebody there. I can feel it. So I sit down on the chair that's next to the table, and I just deep breathe and calm my mind and calm my heart, because it's still a little startling. I'm not going to lie, right? You're in this new environment, and then all of a sudden you feel things that you shouldn't feel and not sure what to do with it, and like all the things. Okay. So I get really quiet, and I let the spirit know that I can feel who they are. Who are they? Come closer into my energy so I can feel you and I can see you. And then I proceed to see a man, and he's wearing a suit, maybe like 1920s kind of suit. And he has like a bowler hat on. Okay. So we're talking, the Apache came about in the 1930s. So it had to be right in the 1930s to 50s, right through there. The suit, bowler hat, he had a mustache. And I just told him.
Yeah, it opened in 1932.
Okay. So I told him, we're not here to mess with you. If you like to leave, we can help you do that. If not, you could join us and we could have some fun. And maybe you could show us around, type of thing. And he was game for that. And he actually said, he showed me the numbers 1200. And I said, 1,200? I'm like, you're going to help us win $1,200? And he was like, yeah, I'm game. So I was like, okay, this is so cool. All right, cool. So Brad comes out of the bathroom and he does the same thing, because this is like our routine, right? So he does the same thing, tells the spirit the same thing that I just said. And he's there. And I said, yeah, we've got this guy. He's in a bowler hat, has a suit on, and he's going to help us win $1,200 is what he says. And Brad's like, what? Okay, this is so cool. So we proceed down to the casino area.
Yeah, and so the casino, it's not a very big gaming floor, so we kind of just wandered through it for a little bit. We walked past the tables, we walked over to the slot machines, and as we're walking through, Nan goes, Brad, what, honey? We need to play that machine right there. I said, okay. So we went and played that machine that she pointed out. Put in some money, pulled the handle, and right off the bat, we won
$300.
$300.
$300.
I was like, all right.
It was really fun.
Atta girl.
Yeah.
So she starts telling me about this gambler.
So I'm like, he told me he's going to let us win $1,200.
Then I'm like, well, hell yeah. Let's use this. Let's go.
So I guess this is how we're going to do it, is on the slots, which is really fun. And so what he would do is, if you're looking at all of the slot machines in the area, they just look normal, but he would make them bounce out at me, like get into 4D and like jump out at me. And so I'd know which one to go to. And I'd just point at it to Brad and we'd go. And sure enough, we'd hit it and it would win. And we'd hit another one and it would win. And we were doing this, and I had this one. It was one of the very last ones that we won at. I believe we won $800 at it. And
Yep.
It was a $5 slot. Okay. If you know me and Brad, we are squeaky tight about that stuff. I would never put a $5 bill into a slot machine because I know I'm going to lose it. Right. But it's popping out at me and it's cherries. I love cherries. And I'm just like, okay, he's saying we're going to win on this. So the very first time we put the we did the max bet, didn't we?
Yeah.
We did the $5 and then we max betted. So I'm pretty sure we betted like $30, something like that. some god awful, I don't even want to know the amount. It was a max bet at the $5 minimum. And we didn't get anything. And I'm like, you got to hit it again one more time and it's going to hit. And it hit at $800. We won $800 on that one. And I was like, okay, and now we're done. And I added it all up and it was $1,200 that we had just won. And the gambler were just laughing and we thanked him. And we went back to our room and we slept like babies. And the next morning we had a really, really nice breakfast at our favorite little place called the Pub.
Coffee Pub.
The Coffee Pub. It's our favorite place. They have stuffed French toast there that is just to die for.
Off strip.
And yeah, it is off strip, but it's so good. And a really good coffee too. Anyways, and that was our experience with the very first one. He didn't want our help. He liked being there. He was happy and we felt like we had made a friend. And so the second time that we had shown up, Brad's like, do you think our gambler friends here?
See if we can win some money.
Yeah. He's like, do you think our gambler friends here? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I guess we can try. So the room that we got actually held an elderly lady that was in it and she didn't want to leave, but she also wasn't a gambler. She wasn't going to bother us. She was chill. So we were like, okay, we're going to come and go and you just do your thing. We're going to do our thing. And she agreed and it was no big deal. So I get really quiet and I call the gambler to me and he shows up and he shows me some playing cards. So a couple of cards and he shows me the green on the table and he's going flick, 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 flick with it. And I'm like, what game has 2 cards and is a green table? And Brad's like, it's probably blackjack. I'm like, do you want us to play blackjack? And he's like, that's my game. I was like, okay, he wants us to play blackjack this time. So we go down and we spend a couple of hours playing blackjack and he's telling us
4 or 5 hours.
Yeah. And he's like telling us when to hold, when to scratch, like whatever. And we're learning to play blackjack and it's really cool because I just have this feeling that he's not going to make us lose any money, even if we lose money. He's going to make sure that we leave winners no matter what. Pretty cool friend.
Nan, you are a winner.
Yes, I am. I'm married to you, my hot husband. So we play for several hours. We have a lot of fun. We end up losing, I think, $200. And then I turn around and he does the machine thing again. And another one pops out and we go over it and it's a $1 slot. We stick money in it and we win all of our money double back. And we're like, all right, cool. Thank you. And we thank him for a really fun time. And he's a stud. He's awesome.
Yeah. It was a super cool experience. It was a lot of fun both times. And the third time was fun too. I mean, even though our room was, a little bit unusually hot and cold, and it was still a lot of fun. And we learned something, I think.
I think we learned a lot. And you know what? Spirits on the other side can be your friends too. They don't have to just be family, right? So we have a ghost that's a friend at the Apache, and I think he's just part family to us anyways. So it's pretty cool.
Well, and speaking of family, we actually had good friends who met up in Vegas. Nan set it up so they would surprise me on my birthday, and it was so cool because I sat down and I was playing a slot machine, and my very, very best friend, Wylan, came walking around the corner with a great big grin on his face. I was like, oh my gosh. It was really cool.
They both cried.
Yeah, we're getting older. We're a little more emotional, I think, than we used to be.
It's so cute, though. They both tell stories from when they were really young, and they finish each other's sentences like a married couple.
Well, we've known each other since 6th grade.
Yeah.
So,
it's amazing.
12 years old?
And you know what? Sometimes family isn't blood. And I think they're very much family. We had an amazing time with them, and we were super, super grateful for them. And his wife, I just got to say, she almost knows us better than we do because she knew which episode that we talked on certain subjects. And, you on episode 35, you did this, or you got to go back to episode 45. Or
Kristen is awesome.
She's amazing. She's so smart. But she had lots of questions for us, and we had so much fun just kind of reminiscing over things and answering questions. And by the end of the weekend together, she was finishing my sentences. So I just love her to pieces, and they are just wonderful people. Big shout out to them for making Brad's birthday magical, even though I was puking my guts out.
Yeah, you did get sick, but it wasn't because you drank or anything like
No.
that. She ended up eating an unripe passion fruit, which can actually poison you, which we didn't know. But it was a great meal until afterwards when you got sick.
It was such a good meal. We went to a fancy restaurant and they have passion fruits and they're my favorite. I've had them in Hawaii and I just snarf them. I love them. But if you have not had a passion fruit, you don't know what you don't know. And I was very new to eating passion fruit, and the seeds are black and it's gooey inside, and Brad calls it something else inside, but you have to like slurp it to eat it, or, you know, eat it with a spoon, but it's funner to slurp it. That's what the Hawaiians taught me. But at this place that we ate, they brought me a whole passion fruit that they had cut in half, and the seeds were still white and it was a lot more tart. It wasn't as sweet as normal. And apparently that causes cyanide poisoning. So I'm still recovering from that. And I was sicker than I've ever been in my whole life. My brain didn't work right. My heart didn't work right. Ugh.
It was super sad.
It was scary. Happy 50th. But we still had fun and we had wonderful friends and lots of blessings. So
Absolutely, we did. It was a great time. But that is our Hotel Apache experience.
go try it out.
Yeah, please. If you've ever stayed there, let us know. If it's someplace you want to go and you're curious about things, you're welcome to reach out to us. And if you have any questions, please always reach out to us on the socials and we will get back in touch with you.
On the socials.
On the socials.
I love how you said that. It's so bougie.
You can also contact us by email.
At info@themormonmediumpodcast.com.
Yep, that's the one.
Or just message me. It's fine. I'm always awake. Thank you for taking the time to listen to us. If you guys would please go leave a review, like our social media pages, share our stuff, kind of spread the word, help us grow so that we can help shed more light into dark places, not only with our ghost stories, but also, you know, when it comes to faith, when it comes to spirituality, when it comes to reaching over to the other side and being able to have that relationship with our loved ones that have passed on. And we wish you all the best and we love you so much. Take care and we'll see you
on the other side of the veil.